Welcome to British Business, The Bottom Line. Every week, me and Matt sit down to talk about the real stuff, the news affecting your business, the lessons we've learned the hard way, and the things nobody tells you when you're running your own show. Whether you're just starting out or you've been at it for years, this one's for you. I'm Charlie Smith.
And I'm Matt Holland.
Let's get into it.
Welcome, everyone. Here we go again, episode 75. How are you, Charlie Smith?
I'm all right, mate. Got a confession to make.
Oh, fuck's sake, go on.
I dropped your brew holder. You know the one you sent me? You know the one you sent me? The Hollands one?
Yeah.
I dropped it the other day.
Huh. Well, just make another one.
That's the one. I miss it so much. I've had to go with one of mine. I don't really like this design though. It's a bit too wide. It's a bit too old. That was like one of the first ones. Whose idea was that to wrap it all the way around there? Fucking yeah. Dropped it straight out my hands. It slipped straight out of my hands, smashed to smithereens. And then the worst bit about it, I couldn't find a dustpan. I was like, "What the? Where?" I said to everyone here, "Where's the dustpan?" I had to ring my mum because she comes and do the cleaning at the weekend every now and again. And I said, "Where's the dustpan?" "Oh, I don't know. Could never find that." I said, "Oh, that's handy then." So I had to get the bloody Hoover out. Good old Henry, sorted me right out. But yeah, the Hollands country clothing mug that was cherished in that cupboard and used only by myself is gone. Anyway,
if anyone wants a British Business, The Bottom Line mug, they are coming soon.
Oh yeah, they are coming soon.
Yeah, we're about to sneak some into production. So if you want a British Business, The Bottom Line mug, drop us a comment on this episode and we will hook you up. Charlie will make them, I will send them out, or vice versa.
£35 plus the value added, plus delivery.
The first five people that ask for them, free of charge.
Oh, we can give away more than that, can we? Are we trying to control the demand or the supply? The supply and increase the demand.
Charlie, I only think we've got 5 listeners, mate.
Oh, okay, yeah. Fantastic. They'll be a sick now because they want a mug. They'll never listen again.
Yeah. What, I don't think 10 people will comment.
No, they won't. Lockwood will. Lockwood will.
If you want a free mug, comment below and send me a DM on Instagram saying, "Give me a free mug," and then I'll get your address and we'll send you a mug.
To be fair, there's a couple of mugs that listen all the time that we know quite closely that never comment as well, isn't there? There's one up your way and there's one down here.
Trying to think who that would be.
Danny listens all the time, doesn't he?
He'll be like, "What? Yeah.
What are you calling me a fucking mug for? What are you calling me a mug for?" Tom listens all the time. He never comments.
Yeah, he doesn't.
Do you know what annoys me? No, he doesn't. Because he comes in here, right? Honestly, he normally starts on a Monday, but when he's driving in, but his commute's not long enough to listen to the bigger one. So he probably finishes on Tuesday, and he always, without fail, will talk to me about like some of the things that you've said during the week, or some of the things I've said. I obviously am not quite au fait with when we recorded the episode and what we said, so I find it quite difficult. So I have to ask him to explain it to me. So he always explains it to me, tells me what he really likes about it, but there ain't no point telling me to my face, is there? Because it doesn't count. Don't count if you're telling it to my face. Tell me on the platform that you've listened to it on.
Yeah. Do you know what? I think that is a challenge. That is a challenge. Remembering what you've actually said.
I struggle with that. It really does mess with my brain.
One thing I need to do actually is I need to go back and listen to episode 1 of the podcast again with me and Tom.
That's a good idea.
It's a good little exercise. I did it at the start of the year 6 months ago. Well, I tuned in. I think I listened to the first one or the second one. But yeah, I think I'm going to listen again just to see how it's progressed.
And another thing, I don't know if he'll still be listening now because he'll probably be pissed off by now that we haven't done it still. My mate Jack is adamant that we need chapters on YouTube. I don't know. I don't know how to do that. How do you do that? And why do you need to do that?
You can't even post fucking reels, mate. We need to focus on just basic shit first.
No, I know.
Say that
literally every
Jack, if you're listening, can you show Charlie how to upload a reel to Instagram? Because he's never done it before.
No.
He's obviously a complete and utter amateur.
I'm gonna tell you when he messaged me.
Roles
2
and
seconds.
responsibilities were drawn up.
Keep talking amongst yourself.
I am doing. Roles and responsibilities were drawn up when me and Charlie went into partnership on this podcast. And the deal was I did the show notes. I came with all the ideas. I did the scheduling. I did the YouTube. I planned the meetings. And all Charlie's got to do is go on Riverside, just get a few clips and, just upload.
I'm sorry. I've let the team down that. Anyway, back to what I was saying.
I'm absolutely savaging you there. That was good. That was. Go on.
07 Monday, 07:44 a.m. chapters with 4 exclamation marks. That's all I got from him. I haven't replied.
Oh, yeah.
He knows I love him, but
listen, tell him.
I'm thinking, mate, 7:44 on a Monday morning.
Right,
yeah, 7:44 a.m. on a Monday morning. I ain't got time for getting obliterated about chapters. He only wants that so he can skip through to something he might like. That's not the point, is it?
Cheeky bastard.
We need you here the whole time, Jackie boy.
I think we want to fucking blacklist this guy. I want to blacklist him. No,
I don't. He's dangerous.
So we only need 4 mugs now.
Only need 4 mugs.
Oh dear.
Yeah, Tom and Danny aren't having one until they comment on another episode, or at least regularly when they listen to it.
Well, they've got to do what we said. The deal was a comment on YouTube and Spotify, and then they've got to message me on Instagram because I'm the controller of the mug distribution. That's how it works. And there is going to be some follow-up questions because I want proof of a rating on Spotify from anyone that wants a free mug. Because they're going to cost us, what are they going to cost? They'll be like £3 or £4 a pop plus shipping. It's going to be like...
I love how you say it's going to cost me. What's that going to cost you? Well, that's true. It is going to cost me.
Well, I'll bankroll it, mate. Of course, I'm generous like that. All you've got to do, like I've said, is just do some reels now and again. 3 times a week.
I'll butt my act up. All right, I promise. That's my commitment today, which means I've got 2 weeks until this episode comes out to get it going. So I still got a 2-week holiday. Oh, I think that's so funny.
I think it's the second time I've called you out on it. Sure. Anyway, so. Today's episode.
Yeah. Talk to me, Goose.
Are you ready for this one? This is a big one, mate. I hope you're ready for this topic. Do you think it works, by the way, you not knowing the topic?
Yeah, I love that.
So for people listening, I don't give Charlie any glimpse of what we're talking about, so it's always a real and authentic reaction from him.
There's loads of people now going, that's why he talks like shit and never knows what he's talking about. That's why, folks.
Just because it's Charlie.
That's why, everyone. Because I didn't know anything about what we're doing.
No, but it's authentic and real, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Like,
I do like it. Yeah, I think we stumbled across that by accident from poor planning and execution to begin with, but it's actually become a thing now, which is quite good, right? You never intentionally tried to do that.
No, you asked me for the show notes and I refused.
Oh, I thought you just didn't have them ready.
No, mate. Do you know you're dealing with it? Like I do show notes well in advance. I don't do them like 5 minutes before. Oh dear! It's all about
quality.
I'm a serious prompt engineer when it comes to Claude. Today's episode 75, the real cost of the Employment Rights Act for small business.
Oh, juicy.
I think we touched on it a couple of weeks ago, laddie, but I thought we'd cover this one up. So do you want to, is there any thoughts on that as an opener before I get into the British real business
cost?
Fact of the week?
What do you mean about the real cost?
Well, the actual impact it has on businesses. Because, I mean, we could talk about the monetary cost and financial cost, but the gritty impact, like how is it going to impact businesses operationally? Some of these changes that are coming in now, and it's like a little staggered approach. They've hit us with a big one in April, and then there's a few more scattered out over the next 12-month period. You'll be excited to hear.
Yeah, I do know. I must admit, I said it a couple of weeks ago. I buried my head a little bit on this one.
Well, I've got all the major changes, so I can sort you through.
I am aware of them. I am aware of them. Just before anyone starts calling HR or anything, do you know what I mean?
So go on, what are they then, Charlie? Go
on. There's the introduction of a few day one rights, isn't there?
Yeah.
So day one tribunal rights or something is one of them.
We'll go for it. Properly.
The next one is sick days. Day one.
That's the first one, yeah.
There's a bit around. I don't know.
Shall we just
Go on.
listen? Let's you waffle a little bit there. I'll help you out.
Help me out. Stick me fact of the week.
I wonder how many of our listeners, by the way, have employees. If you don't have any employees and this is a problem for you on the horizon because you're growing, let us know, and let us know what worries you the most. Let us know what worries you the most about hiring staff. So here we go. British business fact of the week.
Yeah, carry on.
The government's own. That's a good angle, that mate. I like that.
Oh, that's not a good angle.
Oh, Jesus! We've got crotch.
I just felt like I was too short for a moment there.
Oh,
sorry.
Fucking hell. There'll be.
I do apologise.
Pete from Happy Stride. He messaged me the other day. He was like, Matt, listening to the podcast, mate. In his southern accent, whatever that southern accent is, because I can only do northern accent. He always listens to it. He's out.
Must be a bit Essex. Might be a bit. Is it a bit Essex?
Where is it? Well, he's Southend on C, isn't he? So I don't know.
That is, isn't it?
I don't think he had a strong accent when I met him. But anyway, he'll be out running, and he will have had to pull his phone out of his Happy Stride running shorts to see your crotch. That's what he will have been trying to do vigorously there. He'll mess his stride up and everything. So we need to give him an advance warning if you're going to tilt camera like that again, mate.
If you're going to tilt camera like right, come on, hit me.
Okay, so the government's own Happy Stride shorts, by the way, are top tier. I have about 6 pairs. Charlie is a bit. Have you had any Happy Stride shorts off?
No.
Why?
You need to run to wear them, don't you?
Well, I don't run at the moment. I'm injured, but wear them.
That's why you haven't kept harping on about it to everyone.
There we go. Right, we'll get on with this. 12 minutes in. We're not even done the fact of the week yet. Here we go. Right. We're definitely not blagging this podcast game, are we? We're not winging it. The government's own impact assessment found the Employment Rights Bill will cost businesses up to £5 billion a year, with small firms hardest hit, and the assessment warns cost will be proportionately higher for small and micro businesses due to admin and compliance burdens. And then that's sourced by Yorkshire something or other. There's a newspaper that we got that link from.
Are you telling me that some new government legislation mostly impacts small and micro businesses? Because that doesn't sound very familiar.
It doesn't sound like a great idea if you're trying to stimulate the economy and allow it to grow and be profitable so you can tax the profits. So they're going to make less money. Great work. So why does it matter? Almost every... Oh, that's a nervous laugh. Almost every employer is in scope, and the smallest... I like that. Every employer is in scope.
They're in range.
That's what... Yeah, they're in range. And the smallest firms carry the heaviest relative load, which is correct. It lands on top of already rising wage and national insurance costs, not instead of them. And the government's own survey suggests that 40% of businesses would respond by raising prices and 17% by cutting jobs. So the cost gets passed somewhere. On somewhere. So basically inflation. That's what the government's own thing is, that this is going to cost businesses more, which will drive up effectively unemployment, and it will and businesses will put up prices, which will lead to inflation and job losses, and they still decided to push on with it, even though their own survey suggested that. Like, what the F?
Because they're all for the working people. That's why, Matt. We're not them.
Well, it's not even about us at this stage. I'm talking about bigger picture shit, mate, where we're talking about the economy and people employed.
I know, but giving workers more rights is an easy sell, isn't it? Sounds great, like that one, doesn't it, on the manifesto? Does it not?
Well, it's great if they have jobs. But if they lose their jobs,
well, ultimately it will do, wouldn't it? If everything you're doing at the moment, and we've said this time and time again, is making it more and more difficult for you to employ people, not just from a financial perspective, but from an administrative perspective as well, it's quite a challenge to do so. And if you're chucking, I mean, it is complicated, this stuff, by the way, with all the different dates of introductions and what it means and when it comes in, when it applies, etc., etc., and also what it means for. I mean, we yet to be seen, and when you go through the little bits and bobs, I'm sure we'll come to some sort of understanding and agreement about some of those things. But it just makes things more and more difficult. So if you're sat in that sort of micro space and you don't have any employees, or you have a few, you have a couple maybe, like for us might be, we've got the two mums and we've got a few others and stuff, and they're all great, fantastic. But there'll be loads of people out there sort of in, not necessarily in the later years of their life, but they've been doing this a long time. They might just think, do you know what, fuck this. I ain't growing anymore. I'm not pushing. I'm just going to scale it back a bit. I'm just going to scale it back a bit. Make my life easier.
I had a conversation with someone earlier today who said exactly that. Like, they're knocking their business on the head. Can't be asked doing it anymore. I'm not saying who it was, obviously, but they just said, I'm fucking done with it. I've made a bit of money, Matt. I'm done. Well,
I don't blame people either.
At the same time, I'm meeting that individual that's on track to do £50 million turnover next week. I'm buying him dinner, taking him out, because I need to learn from him. Right. So I'll be interested to hear what he thinks of this. But he's got a lot of staff. So imagine the burden on someone like that, like when you've got quite a few employees. Pretty scary.
Yeah, it is. Give us give us a couple of details then.
Candleman.
No, I didn't mean that. I just mean the details about the employment rights. Oh yeah, he's what an impressive geezer, by the way.
Yeah, Candleman. That's all I'll say. Candleman. Impressive guy.
Yeah.
Proper geezer. Proper. Right. So some juicy details. So basically, it's pretty cooked, I think. As a big picture thing, but actually, controversially, I'm going to say that I actually agree with a couple of the things they're bringing in.
Okay, hit me.
I'm going to agree with the government on this. So,
fucking hell.
So, what's already live from April 2026, the 6th of April? So, what's already live? Statutory sick pay now starts from day one. So, the 3 waiting days and the lower earnings limit are gone. So, every employee is eligible to get sick pay from the first day off, regardless of pay or hours. So my name's Freddie, and I went to the pub last night with my mates, and I can't be arsed coming and working in the pub today. So I'm just going to call in sick, and I'm going to collect that 22 quid or whatever it is, statutory sick pay. Cheers, Rachel. Thank you. And then Bob the landlord sat there going, great, so I've got to cash flow that and all the rest of it. And I think you can claim a bit back and all the rest of it, but just what the fudge?
Yeah. It will happen as well, that. It will happen a lot. I'm telling you. Because we've already discussed before why work doesn't pay.
Yeah, I mean,
and as a, you know, oh God, I get into, no, I won't say too much. But look, we're not the most hard working at the minute, are we? As a collective, I don't think. Do you know what I mean? Well, I think I'm probably safe to say that. I think I'm not talking about you and I and the likes of our listeners and loads of other people that are hustling every day. There's a vast majority of people that are, but you know, we love the nice to haves. We're not willing to do anything really that puts us out. We don't really want to do anything that might kind of disrupt us or disgruntle us or make our life slightly more challenging for the better, etc. But you know, what does that mean for people that just can go, oh no, that's all right, I just get a bit of money. It's just another thing, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's not the type of thing that helps stimulate the economy. I think people.
No, it costs it.
Yeah, it costs because think about it, right? So, Fred's the pub landlord. what was his name? What was the artificially created individual that
Can't remember.
We'll call him Freddie. Was it Freddie? It was Freddie. Freddie the bartender. He was out on the beers on a Friday night. He's scheduled the day shift. He's turned up late, and then the boss gets the text saying, "I'm not coming in, mate. I've got a headache and sickness. So I'd like SSP, please, pal." Pub landlord has to pay him the 22 quid. Freddie gets to chill in bed and play computer games all day, wallowing in his self-pity. HMRC, obviously, it's offsettable against corporation tax, so they lose out on the corporation tax, and the individual hasn't worked. So I just...
Why would you, when... It's public knowledge that we believe we have a productivity issue in this country, correct? There's talk about that. Everyone accepts that, don't they? We've got a productivity issue. We lose, I mean, I don't know what the fact and figure is, but there's millions and millions of working days to sick days every single year. There's lots of talk about getting people back into work. You know, a lot of the kind of activities that government are trying to do is to try and proactively get people back into work, pull people out of retirement age. It was all about that, I don't know, 12, 18 months ago. It's probably changed a load since then. So we know we've got a productivity issue. Why do we do something that might only make that worse and then call it workers' rights and say we're improving workers' rights? Why would it do that?
Well, it's a PR stunt, because what it does is it places a further wedge between the employee and the employer. So the Labour government, what they're doing there is they're effectively buying votes, because they win in both scenarios, because the voter gets better employment rights in the sense that they are able to go from a sick on day one and get some pay for it, which doesn't hurt them as much. They're happy, and Labour are happy because if the employer then tries to get rid of them or does sack them, and then that person becomes unemployed, well, Labour still get the vote because Labour are supporting people that are unemployed. That's my kind of controversial take on this, is that Labour wins in both scenarios.
Yeah.
And
there will be. I'm sure there'll be genuine. There'll be many people that this sort of thing helps, but you know, if you,
it's not good for business. It's not.
I don't get it. Why day one? Why day one?
Well, it was on day 3 prior, which for me makes logical sense. If someone has a bit of a cold or a little bit of an ache or whatever, well, do they need to take the day off? I'm not sure. I don't know. My view has always been, if we've got flexible working contracts for most of our staff, most of our non-operational. In fact, our operational salary staff as well, they have flexi contracts. So if they need to take a day off, they get paid the same at the end of the month. They just owe us the hours, and they have the choice. They can either take it as a sick day and get no pay, statutory sick pay, which reduces their monthly salary down slightly, or they can take it as a flexi day, keep the pay the same, but then just make the hours back and do an extra hour here and there.
Seems very sensible, that, doesn't it?
That's the way we handle it.
Yeah.
That's how we offer it to staff, and then they have the choice.
A little bit of less administration as well, isn't it?
Less administration, and it works for both parties. We offer them the choice. Do you want to take it as a sick day, or do you want to take it as a flexi day? For me, a lot of businesses will operate in that sensible way. So we have a salary contract, and we have a flexible working policy for that reason. It works for our staff. I get it for 0-hour contracted staff, warehouse operatives and stuff like that, bartenders, but then the flip side is they can do what we've just been discussing. So it's a bit of I don't know, it's not a great thing, I think. I think it was fine. It should have just been left untouched, just like the last episode when we talked about the corporation, corporation submission changes that were projected into 2028. So just a bit of a mess. Right, so the next one here, because there's quite a few, mate. We need to wrap.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I was going to say it ain't just the only one, is it? So.
Oh no, yeah. So these are already live. These paternity leave and unpaid parental leave have become day one rights. I don't have as big an issue about that, to be honest with you. I think I don't have a big problem with that. I think that's fine. A new day one right to bereaved partners paternity leave. up to 52 weeks where a partner dies. So there's a couple of clauses in there for that. Again, not too stressed about that really. A new duty to employers to keep and retain annual leave records. So you have to now retain your annual leave records of when staff had time off and stuff. Whereas it wasn't well, if you think about it, some employers maybe probably don't have the systems in place to track annual leave properly. So you legally have to do it now, whereas before, if you didn't, you'd probably just end up in losing a tribunal, I would imagine, whereas now it's a legal requirement. What's coming up next? This is the big hitters. That's what Claude's described this as. So from October 2026, dismissing someone for refusing to change to a core contract term like pay or hours becomes automatically unfair in most cases, with a narrow exception for genuine financial collapse. So you can't reissue some of the new contracts with new terms, and if they don't sign it, sack them, basically, which is quite a big change actually, because there's certain elements which are protected rights, and it depends on the and I don't want to necessarily get into HR legislation here, but that is a big change. And I think if you're employing people, you do need a certain level of flexibility to issue updated contracts. And up until now,
I lack experience here.
Yeah, well, we every year we issue, or even twice a year now, we issue updated contracts to our staff, just as HR legislation changes. So we've recently done it, and it's been in conjunction with pay increases for the most part across the team. So yeah, I just think it's making something that was working, it was fine, best left alone, make it more complicated, make it more difficult for employers. This is the one that you mentioned before. So from the 1st of January 2027, the unfair dismissal qualifying period drops from 2 years to 6 months. So it used to have this, like, it was the 2-year rule effectively. That's changing. It was supposed to change to a day one right.
Yeah.
But that
wasn't aware of
that. Yeah, but they've changed it to 6 months. That has been so the government have done a U-turn on that, basically, because they had a lot of public bashing, a lot of business backlash on that. So, because I think for me,
that
be a nightmare. Because if you need to get rid of a poor performer who, for whatever reason, has entered your business, you've got a bit of a grey period in the first 2 years where you can make the decision on whether or not you want to retain them, and you can monitor performance. And then if the honeymoon period passes, so they're like 9 months into the job, and then all of a sudden things drop off and you try to work them a little bit, you don't have to go through a full disciplinary stream and performance manage them out of the business. You can just say, listen, this isn't working, we have to let you go. And
no one wants to do that anyway, do they? You don't want to have to do it, but the reality is that that does happen more regularly than you think. Do you know what I mean? Like
we've done it a lot. We've done it a lot over the years. It's not something I'm ashamed to say. We have sacked people, and I'd say I'm probably proud of it. And I think more business owners shouldn't tolerate average. That's my opinion. If you disagree with me, comment below. But my opinion is you are only as strong as your weakest link. And if you've got weak team members, you shouldn't be tolerating average. You should move them along. It's just business culture at the end of the day. We want hard workers in our business, so we don't tolerate it. So the 2-year rule has been very useful to my business. We also have had, and we still have, a 6-month probationary period. Now, because of that change, we are able to retain that 6-month probationary period. But the problem is 6 months. What can happen after a 6-month period? Like 9, 12 months. We've had people come in and perform well for 9 months, and all of a sudden things just go off the boil or it doesn't work well. I mean, don't get me wrong, like, if someone's been in the business for a 12-month period, like, and they've been really good, we'll be patient with them. But the 2-year rule was useful, I think. Have you ever had to dismiss someone in your business, or have you only ever had to do it at B&Q?
Yeah,
B&Q.
Yeah.
What was that? What was that like? Did they make you jump through loads of hoops when you were that store manager?
No, back in those days, very good, very supportive, very good HR structure, very good support, very good advice when you needed to.
Yeah.
So like a really good employment relations team that you could talk through. You could talk through meetings and tell people and talk to them about what you've just discussed, what the outcomes were, what you've assessed, what your feelings are, what your thought process is, and they would advise and tell you what you couldn't do, shouldn't do. Yeah, it was really, really good, really supportive. I thought that was a really good process, and we used to do a lot of work and a lot of help with people to try and manage performance and try and improve performance. I think, like human beings, I think we don't really want. I certainly don't want any confrontation, but the reality is that sometimes you need to, and if you don't want to do those things, but it's important that you're kind of able to, because I think the impact of a bad egg, should we say, on a team and a team morale and the way a team operates, I think is quite bigger than people. I think people would underestimate what that can do to team morale, and I think it's important that you act quickly. It doesn't take long for the rest of the team to look at how someone's being treated or how someone is performing and thinking, do you know what? Why am I bothering? Why do I work so hard? Why do I care so much? When that person clearly doesn't, I see him every day, and there's nothing anyone do about it. But
that's very prevalent in our warehouse. Like if we've got a weaker link, if we have a weaker link come in, who's a Christmas temp, and they're not putting the same amount of effort and enthusiasm as the other Christmas temps, we just cut our losses.
Effort and enthusiasm is quite often all you want, isn't it? Really.
It's funny that how I said that. Then it's just a bit of effort and a bit of enthusiasm. We're not saying like you need to be performing like the best and you need to be like hitting KPIs. I'm just saying you want to be there. You're turning up for work on time. Like you're not calling in sick every other day.
Yeah, you have a bit about you, don't you?
Yeah, just want to get on in life. Do you know what I mean? Like, but someone that like wants to have a go. And don't get me wrong, like we've invested time and effort into people that maybe haven't had some of those traits, and given them opportunities, and then they've turned into being great employees. I mean, you have the luxury of being able to chat to Danny now and again, but ask him about that. We ask him. Matt is that I think I'm soft. Ask him. I think I'm pretty soft. Like me and him have battles sometimes where he maybe has an opinion that I disagree with, and I want to go for the soft approach. Danny's pretty ruthless, Like you've got to make difficult decisions to protect your business. That's the hard thing. We let someone go last year that they were doing well overall, but ultimately the numbers didn't stack up for their role in the business anymore. So we just had to pivot. They were under 2 years service, so we were able to do that without any major implications, and things change in the business. So I think that's a big one for me. This next one is a big one as well. So from 2027, and it hasn't given me an actual date here, so I think that's to be confirmed, or there's some movement on it still. But the 0 hours reform brings in a right to a guaranteed hours offer after a consistent pattern, reasonable notice of shifts, and compensation for short notice cancellations. So at the moment on a 0 hours contract, you can, I think it's only a couple of hours before a shift, you can say, sorry, mate, we don't need you today. You can let that person down. And operationally for restaurants and pubs, that can be quite a big thing. Think about it, like if you're running a pub with a big beer garden, you might schedule for a hot weekend because the forecast is hot, but then all of a sudden it's fucking raining, no one's in the pub garden. Well, you need to probably cancel a couple of shifts and ring Susie and say, listen, Susie, I'm sorry, it's a bit quiet, so I'm probably not going to need you tonight, but I'll look after you next week. Is that all right? Yeah, no worries. And manage it that way. But now it'll be, no, you've got to pay her.
Oh, I hate the idea of doing that, though. It's horrible, isn't it, that?
What, ringing someone up and letting them down? Have you ever worked in hospitality?
No. I haven't actually.
Okay, so you maybe haven't got the context, but that is how hospitality businesses are run.
I know, but isn't it horrible?
It's horrible, but it's the reality. How else would you address that? Like if you're running a pub with a huge pub beer garden, you've planned for hot weather because it's been on the weather forecast, so you've staffed it out, and the whole thing is, the reason why the 0 hour contract exists, it gives the employee and the employer flexibility.
Yeah, well, so I think it's fair enough in that sort of thing, in that sort of game. I get the reasons for it there, but there's other places where it'd be abused.
It could be abused, I get that. Like it's supply and demand at the end of the day, but how would a hospitality business cope then if they get it wrong on the weather? Like that's why it's there. So now there's going to be a punishment for those businesses if they cancel too late. They've still got to pay the labour. I get it from the employee's perspective as well. I do, but a good manager, a good leader in the business will plan and project and shimmy things around and try and distribute the hours evenly. And then if it's not working, ultimately the zero-hour member of staff can walk and go and get a job elsewhere.
Yeah.
So 0-hour contracts.
But they won't be able to do that from next year.
No. So that's going to be a problem for Danny. He's going to have to work out how to solve that for his warehouse.
Poor lad's going to be getting pulled from pillar to post, isn't he? Absolutely bruised, saying you got too many people, you've not got enough. Why have you got too many today when you've got enough? Oh, sorry, Matt, I thought you were going to sell more last night. I projected that you would sell more.
I'm sure he'll be able to work it out. So all he needs to do is delegate, and then that way he'll be able to do what he needs to do.
Yeah, if he delegates, he make it somebody else's fault, can he?
Exactly. He's got people underneath it, and that's it. Yeah, he knows the score. So yeah, there's quite a few there that are coming, and then like got a couple of things noted down here, but like, yeah, this is. I mean, this is.
We chopped this episode up. We are having the same people comment that commented the other week on that reel.
What do you mean?
This one's going to be feisty. This one, isn't it?
You reckon?
Yeah, this episode. If we cut this one up, this could be very anti-small business owner. This one.
I like that.
Very anti-small business owner.
I love how you're getting like all excited about these clickbaity clips, whereas I'm just like, it's not my bag. I don't know.
Why'd you keep texting me and telling me I need to put reels up then?
Well, I'm saying like it's little and often, like quality.
I know, but what I'm saying is just talking about this topic is like it's one of those ones that will just people will go tunnel vision on, and they'll be like, rah, you don't like this, you don't like that.
Yeah, but we don't want that type of audience.
Try being an arse, dick.
Actually, to be fair, there was a lot of business owners that were commenting defending the situation. There was a few that popped off this week. I suspect it was some listeners that, because we said on the other episode, like chip in and give some fucking abuse to the morons. There was someone that went wading in. I saw a couple of comments flying, and he was like, he's throwing a couple of good old haymakers at him. I was like, I think he called one of them an idiot. I was like, yeah, this is top bad. Like, you got no idea what it's like to run a business. Shut up.
Absolutely.
Top tier. Right. So the real cost, a couple of last little bits that I just wanted to cover off. Like, I mean, that's pretty gnarly. Like, if you annualize the impact of just the first day sick pay situation for a business with, say, 10 employees, like, there's gonna be at least 10 sick days in there.
It's the administration of getting it all right, Matt, as well, isn't it?
Yeah. So you need an accountant that.
It's just getting it.
Payroll element.
Yeah, well, you need HR advice, don't you? It's just another thing for the business owner brain to try and be. You've got all of a sudden you've got to be an employment lawyer as well to get your head around it all, to make sure.
That's where you need a good partner. So if anyone is listening and they need a HR partner, I've got someone that we use that's very good and very cost effective. I won't say who it is on air because. Yeah,
but you still got to have that conversation with them, or someone in your business still has to.
But it's controlled, so if you've got a HR partner,
okay, well, it doesn't allow it to escalate. You can make the right decisions and stuff, but you still got to have those conversations that you didn't need to have if these things didn't come in. So it's still time, energy, effort, administrative costs that are piled on to something that just stops you from doing the job that you're supposed to be doing. And it's just another layer of something else. And I get the whole rights thing. I get it. But I'm not being funny. But this is not a bad country to work in. If we look out across the rest of the world, we ain't got it too bad here at all.
No,
do you know what I mean?
Very fortunate, yeah.
We are very. I won't say it. But
it's fostering a hostile environment. That's the problem. And what I really worry about, right, is I have the knowledge and context of the last 10 years of my journey with running a business. And if we go back in time, I've made mistakes, lots of mistakes. I've said the wrong thing. I've employed the wrong people. I've let people go and probably not relied upon the best information because I couldn't afford to have a HR company, or at least I thought I couldn't. And basically, like, if I think now and look back at some of the situations I put myself in or put the business in, it's probably, if the rules and regulations had been like what they are going to be back then, I probably would have ended up in some tricky situations that could have cost the business a lot of money in terms of like hiring and firing people.
Yeah.
Obviously, specifically firing people, because I didn't necessarily not done everything perfectly. Whereas now there's no margin for error. Like, if you fuck it up, like the cards are stacked against you as a business owner. So my advice is, if you're in a small business and you've got more than one employee, couple of employees, you need a HR partner to draft your contracts, and make sure you're compliant. You can rely a little bit on Claude to help educate yourself and all the rest of it, but my opinion is that kind of like being able to pick up the phone and interact with another human, it's worthwhile. And we're not talking big bucks. Like, send me a message on Instagram. I'll tell you how much I'm paying for the number of employees we've got, and I can introduce you to our partner. They are good. You do get what you pay for, though, and it depends how much support you need. But there are good partners out there, in my opinion. So I would tool up with a good HR partner. That's my biggest takeaway from this. Make sure you get compliant, because if you don't, you're fucked. That's the reality, mate. Like, if you don't have contracts that are compliant, then you are fucked. That's the reality. If someone challenges you, you'll be paying out a lot of money. You send the business under. It's common. People get thousands of pounds. I was chatting to someone I know. They work in the public sector for a government organisation. They manage a team of a few people, and one of the team members, they moved into this team they've been a manager. They've moved into this team, managing this new team, and basically, one of the members of the team is on a performance improvement program, and they're on basically like final written warning. They breach what the PIP has said, and they get pulled into a HR disciplinary hearing or meeting, and the internal HR team at the public sector employer, they basically they didn't prep this manager well enough, in my opinion, and as a result, the person got off. They're still employed by the company, even though they breached the PIP, and it was basically a sackable offence. But businesses and organisations are scared to make hard decisions and let go of people that shouldn't be in the business.
Yeah, I used to see, depending on where you were, I used to see that a lot when I was working in retail and stuff, is that, it's horrible phrase like to call people it, but you see people like moving the problem around. It just gets moved from one area to another, to one department to another, and nobody is willing to stand up and just deal with the situation and say, look, this isn't working. This isn't driving the business forward. It's not helping me. It's not helping you. And people are scared to have those conversations sometimes, and nobody likes doing them. Don't get me wrong. I mean, if I can help it, I won't. But they do say, don't they, hire slow and fire fast. So it's you have to be even faster now.
Yeah, there's a guy in the I'm in a networking group, and we have a call every other week. And one of the guys was saying he's just sacked someone and he's rehiring, and they've had this I don't know what it's called. It's like some kind of lettering of intent by the former employee come in. And yeah, it's a bit of a nightmare.
Yeah.
You are constantly back against the wall sometimes.
Whole thing's a nightmare, mate. That's another really rosy episode we've just had there again, isn't it?
Yeah. I've come out with some meaty ones.
Fucking hell, we talk about some really nice shit, don't we?
Yeah, well, I'm not finished, but there was one last thing. I mean, just on the note of that, why don't you do if you're not going to even bother with the reels? Why you can do some work? Why don't you do the show notes for the next episode? What do you reckon?
You want me to host?
Yeah, we'll let you take over.
Yeah, all right, deal. Fucking hell, that is rubbish. Do another one.
Oh dear, I'm not going to.
Am I hiring at the moment? No.
Why not? Because you're growing.
No, not at the moment. Why not?
Yeah, why not?
Well, we found the last couple of months were quite hard, to be honest with you. So
Yeah, I get that.
I found it. I've said before in here, I found it really strange since coming back since January. I feel like there's a different feel about the place, and I know that we can flip into the whole just work harder, find more customers. I get that, but I feel like as a business, we have never worked harder for what we're doing at the moment.
Well, who are your customers, Charlie?
Other businesses.
Yeah.
And other businesses are finding it difficult. When other businesses find it difficult, that kind of trickles down the chain. And we've always had that because of the industries that we've worked in. We've seen it, we've understood it, we know it's the case. And quite often the kind of your diversification kind of helps you out there, because when you're in different sectors, it kind of assists, or you're doing different product SKUs, etc. But it's just weird, mate. It's just weird. I don't think we've ever grafted so much as what we have. Yeah. As we have in the last 6 months, and the last 2 for us were the first 2, and we had some meaty months in May and April last year. They were big. There was a couple of outliers. There's some really big orders that's kind of skewed the numbers, but we've had the first 2 months since we started doing workwear in the middle, just after COVID, where we're down on our numbers like for like 2 in a row. And I'm not too fussed with it, because there's quite a few green shoots around there, and there's some positives to take out of it. And I can see the outliers in that. And I'm determined that actually, from the quarter point of view, I reckon we'll make most of that back, which is good. But it still leaves you with a bit of a feeling it's just hard work out there. And I just don't think there's nothing to encourage me to continue. I still want to grow, but I want us to be efficient. I don't want to jump in and make any sort of rash decisions. Whereas, when we were talking, say, when did we start?
9 months ago.
Yeah, when did we start doing August, September, and we were like, go for it, and we were like, we're going to hire 3 new people. I was like, let's go for it. I was really like, let's do it.
Yeah. You had a good run through from the end of last summer through to Christmas time, didn't you? It was a good period.
Yeah, and I'm glad we made the decision we did.
Have you still got everyone that you hired then? No one's left through natural attrition?
No, we employed 2 new people last year. We did offer the third, but the third never turned up. So it didn't come through. But they've been absolutely great. They've been fantastic, and we've managed.
Are they working full time in the business or part-time?
No. So part time. I'd love to, and that's enough. Yeah, but I'd love to be able to flex them up and stuff all the time and give them more and more. But that is just hard. We're just at a point now where we're just trying to keep just control that cost level, because we start from 0 every month. So it's like we're always trying to get to that point where actually it's what the numbers are adding up. And
I get that.
Yeah, it's just there's just a weird feeling. It's just a weird feeling.
I think
we are working hard.
Yeah, I speak to a lot of business owners. I think if you're not working hard, the people that are not working hard are finding it really hard at the moment. Like they're losing money.
I think you're fucked.
You're fucked basically, and that's why people are just quitting basically.
Yeah, I don't think you can just breeze through it. You just can't. You can't.
The other big thing that's going on as well. Sorry to cut you off there, but there's a lot of businesses. There's a lot of businesses for sale at the moment, because there's a lot of business owners going, "Oh, I can't be arsed." I spoke to a competitor. I can say this. I spoke to a competitor very recently about them. They basically want to sell the business. I got on the call with them, had a bit of a chinwag, and then I was like, "Oh, so how do you think your business is worth? What's your kind of revenue numbers?" And they're an 8-figure business. We had a good chat, and we just talked about industry and stuff. And then they basically they're not making a net profit, but they wanted to value the business on like a multiplier or something of revenue. And I was like,
that's weird.
Yeah,
it's so weird.
But the delusional kind of like, they were saying how the business is great, yeah, everything's good, but I was like, well, why do you want to sell? Oh, well, we want to sell because it's hard. But you were saying it's great.
Yeah, so which one is that?
How does that fucking work? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, but it's not easy out there. So people are trying to sell the businesses, but then people are also delusional about what their businesses are worth. Because if it's not profitable, if it's not cash generative, it's worth nothing. It's a fucking liability. Like, who wants to take over a business that's losing money? Yeah,
Big
it's a fucking problem.
liability. Big
Yeah,
problem.
fuck that. So,
Yeah, no,
I mean,
bizarre.
I said send me the numbers and they haven't come back because they probably didn't like how direct I was about how much of a joke they were referring to. But anyway, there we are. And then I set up an Amazon account.
You bastard.
War. Business is war.
Amen.
Yeah. The Claude question of the week.
Mm.
Are you ready for that?
Mm. I don't know.
Be honest. Be honest. Has the Employment Rights Act made you think twice about hiring your next person, Charlie?
No, not the Employment Rights Act. No, it has not. I didn't know enough about it till tonight.
Well, I think for me it has. For me it has. Yeah, for me, the statutory sick pay and the removal of the 2-year rule down to 6 months. We've got to think carefully about who we hire now. I think we've got to be cautious. I think and I think a lot of medium-sized small businesses, which is what we are, will go and think, do I want to take that risk? Because when you've built something and you're profitable and you're cash generative, you've got to protect your fortress.
Yeah.
And if you fuck things up at a tribunal, you might have to pay out 100 grand, which fucks you, sets you back a year. So it really messes you up.
Yeah.
And if you're a smaller business, it wipes you out. So
that's reality.
For me, I think carefully about it, and I think if anything, and I don't like saying it because we're a British business, but offshore.
Sad that.
Really sad, mate. And as a patriotic person, that's basically what I'm having to do now because I'm not willing to hire people in the business in the UK.
Yeah,
it's just not worth the risk. I'll hire quality people, and I think senior roles, probably.
skills and stuff.
Yeah, but I'm not bringing in middle layers to the business at an administrative level, no chance. And operations, bring in the operations team. Charlie's just adjusting cables. What's going on, mate? It's your headset.
I haven't had my laptop charging, so it's gonna.
Oh fucking hell! What battery on? What battery are you on?
It just come up and said battery saver coming on. So I was off.
Oh shit!
Yeah, especially as we're having trouble with the upload speed. We're gonna be here till about fucking 12:30 at night.
Yeah, I'm just edging it on and on and on because I'm at home, obviously, and you're sat in the office.
Yeah, I know. Desperate for a wee as well.
Right. Yeah. So that's my view on that. I'm thinking twice about it, but you're not.
Yeah, I think if I'm being honest, it hasn't really come into my forefront of my thinking. I think the reason I'm doing it at the moment is just purely kind of trading conditions, I think, and how I feel about things. But I don't think it's because of that. I think if I got to the point, absolutely. I think when I'm looking through those things, especially when you're interviewing, when you're reviewing CVs, when you're looking at past experience, I think there'll be way more no's than there are maybes. As a result of having to defend against that or protect against that.
Yeah.
100%.
I feel really sorry, or I worry about businesses that are trying to scale right now because it's fucking brutal. And if you haven't got experience hiring people for the first time, I think it's going to be pretty gnarly for you. Because take your time, and I think there's a lot of business owners out there that are hungry and want to grow, but the problem is they're going to realise that that hiring employees, it's not an easy game, and there's a lot of very average people out there, unfortunately. You probably have to kiss a few frogs to find a good member of staff. That's the reality.
Yeah.
So anyway, on that happy note, we'll leave you to the next one. There we are. Give us a rating on Spotify.
Well, they ain't going to rate this one very good, are they? Because all we've done is fucking been miserable shits.
I think people like it. I think there's a lot of people that are feeling it at the moment, and I think it's good to hear that. Like, this is the real talk, you know what I mean? We don't fucking butter it up and be like, oh yeah, it's fucking amazing, it's great.
We'll find something nicer, something more exciting to talk about next time, I think.
Well, the gauntlet's
That's
down,
on me,
mate.
is
it's your turn.
No.
Yeah, you need to produce some show
laying
notes.
down the gauntlet. Fine. Deal.
Yeah. Do you know? Yeah, you know
what a show note is? I'm just going to scribble down. I'll just scribble down a couple of points on this book, and then we'll just go for it.
Back a fag packet.
Back a fag packet.
You might have a great greater appreciation for me after next week's episode. We'll see, won't we? There we are. Undervalued. There we are. Right. Listen, Charlie. I love you, mate. I'll see you later.
Yeah, I love you
Bye-bye.
too, mate. Speak soon.